Well. Look who's back. Day 157.
Man, I didn't think... there's people that do this every day. They stream like once or twice every day.
I could do this every day if I lived here.
You know what? I could do this every day if I didn't have to be up at 8 in the morning for a regular job and then work 9 hours and then come back home. I think if we could figure out how to make this our everyday...
Jamie, could you cue the violin?
It's the little one. I think if we could figure out how to make this our life, I could stream for like 8 hours a day.
Oh,
hey, Frank.
shit.
Hey,
Frankie, Mr. Monkey already?
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Right in early. Everybody now knows they need to wait 5 minutes. Like our alert goes and they're like, yeah, we got to wait 5 minutes. Those dudes aren't really there. They're not really
So, welcome to Sinister Sinema.
Episode 30-something, day 11 of 31 in a row. Tonight we're talking about a 1980s classic.
Classic ghost story. They don't make them like this anymore. Because George C. Scott is dead, but...
Well, yeah, and I think... Oh, no. Frank said we're cutting out. Does it look like it's freezing on there at all? Hello? One, two,
Anybody?
Check. Nah, that's just you, Frank. Everything else looks good. All of our meters look good. You need to upgrade your internet spectrum.
And by meters, he accidentally meant to say Peters.
Our Peters.
Mr. Monkey said good on his side. Ooh, okay. You are good on your side, sucker.
The other day, I think we had a miscommunication, and I just want to air this out right here on air.
Don't bring it up.
No. You thought I was saying this isn't really a horror movie, but I think what I was saying is it's more than a horror movie.
Yeah,
it's like it is like
it's a good mystery.
It's a good mystery. It's good. Like
I saw it again last night. I watched it again last night. Man, it still gives me chills in some parts.
I think like having General Patton as the lead, like really gets it to where it's like, I mean, it's just like a step above most horror movies. When he's frightened, the way he looks at shit, dude, you're like scared too. You're like, what the fuck is he looking at? A lot of the acting in this thing is like his expressions. Like he's just a great actor. The dude is just a great actor. I don't know if he's won like Academy Awards or anything.
I think he won one for Patton. And remember he sent out that little fucking Pocahontas out there to go pick it up.
Oh, that was him? No.
Yes.
Him, was it?
Yes, he won for Patton.
That's when that happened? I thought that was somebody else.
Oh, that was Marlon Brando. But I think he won for Patton.
He may have. I know he
I would check, but I don't have internet service here.
He won one Academy Award and he was nominated for 4. So he won Best Actor for Patton. You were right. And then he won Golden Globes for Patton. And then he won 12 Angry Men.
Did you ever see Patton?
Yeah. We had to... Like, I feel like they showed that to us in history class every year from, like, 7th grade up through 12th grade. I feel like it was, like, one of those... it's just going to keep coming. You're going to keep watching this over and over. And then, of course, the North and the South. About the Norse War of Aggression.
Yeah. Tricia Vanderveer, his wife at the time, her acting in this movie,
dude,
like she looks like it gave her fucking PTSD in this bitch.
Dude,
she's terrifying.
There's one part where
12 Angry Men.
Where
Panama Red.
I didn't see this, but I caught it today that she actually got so scared in while they're filming a part that she screams, "Stop it, George," or something. Did you see that? Apparently it's still in the movie. She says "Stop it, George" instead of "Stop it, John." And
it's probably that fucking wheelchair scene.
It's like part of like one of those scenes.
Yeah, she was married to George C. Scott for 8 years.
Yeah, he was married to Claire, the main actress.
She's just so proper. She's so hot.
The weird thing about that is when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this is about the last this is about the last of movies where there's like a way older man like dating like a much younger woman, but then they were like actually married, which is
Hazel.
funny. Hazel, what's up? I like that zombie hand. That's my hand, actually. Look, I did this, and then I took pictures, and then I redrew it. You can tell because I think that middle finger is all chopped off. And see, my middle finger's
Dude, it
chopped off.
does look like your fucking hand. You weirdo. You're such a weirdo, dude.
You gotta draw inspiration from something, and I draw it from my chopped off finger hand.
Yeah, George C. Scott, man, he's a Scream Queen too. He did Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
He's amazing in Exorcist 3.
Exorcist 3, so
underrated.
Exorcist 1, amazing movie. Exorcist 2, complete dog shit.
It's not that bad.
Complete dog shit. Exorcist 3.
I'm just kidding. It's fucking terrible.
Exorcist 3 is... I'm kind of like chilled out on wanting to get a whole lot of stuff on VHS because I kind of feel like I would like to just get... There's
your
like
wife,
primary ones.
Your wife would kill you?
Well, I mean, we're kind of out of room. But
Paco!
Exorcist 3... Hey, Paco. Exorcist 3 is one of those movies I'd like to get. Dude, there are some terrifying moments in Exorcist 3.
That's one of the best jump scares ever put on film.
Which one?
You know which one?
The
hospital hallway scene.
Oh my god.
That one, and when the little old lady's climbing on the ceiling. That's fucking terrifying.
Dude, I always thought that hospital...
Paco.
I shaved it off. I cut it off. I got tired of being made fun of.
No more fucking Jimmy Neutron.
You know what's funny is the other day, one of the actors in one of these movies we watched, oh my god, it might be some coming up, but he worked on Jimmy Neutron, so I thought that was kind of funny. But that scene in Exorcist 3 always reminded me of, I feel like maybe that's where they got the idea for, not the idea for Scream, but kind of the look for Scream. Can you see that at all, or is that...
For what scene? The
just
hallway?
Like the whole... Yeah, like when he comes shooting across the hallway, like the kind of in those like drapey...
Maybe it kind of... Yeah, I could see that.
Like if you were to like just see that and not know
that
Exorcist
shit
3,
is terrifying. The first time I ever saw that, it scared the shit out of me.
And it's those string stabs right when they do it. It's like... like you're just like, oh my god. Dude, yeah, that makes you...
And I love the weapon in that movie, those giant... fucking surgical scissors to cut ribs.
The one that has the weird curve.
Man, that shit's terrifying.
Dude, Exorcist 3 is great. Jamie, have you seen Exorcist 3? I don't know if Jamie's seen that or not.
Don't ever watch it. It's terrifying.
It's a good one. Yeah, man, but the Changeling. See, Jamie hadn't seen it yet. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, The Changeling stars George C. Scott as a grieving husband after his wife and child die. In the first fucking 3 minutes of the movie, it's fucking terrible the way they die.
Yeah.
They're all having fun. They're in the snow. It starts off with them pushing the car. They pull over. He's like, I'm going to go across the street and use the telephone booth. And everybody's like, what the fuck is a telephone booth?
Yeah. Why don't you just get your cell phone out,
I guess you go in there so you can hear on your cell phone?
Yeah, I'm like... Why?
So he's in there typing, and all of a sudden you see a car coming, and you can already feel like, man, something's up.
Yeah.
So the car spins out of control, and there's a fucking dump truck coming like 100 miles an hour. The car spins out of control. The dump truck hits the back of the station wagon, and completely...
Yeah, it wasn't really the dump truck's fault. I mean, other than the dump truck should have hit the person who was driving bad instead of a sad family that's playing snowballs.
I think the dump truck should have been going 100 fucking miles an hour. That's what I think.
People drive too fast in the snow. Look at here. We could have a horror movie every day on the highway here. People like go like 100 like and ride each other's ass.
So it's like, what, 2 weeks later, I'm like, get over it, dude. Like, it's been 2 weeks.
No, I think it's been a decent amount of time. He leaves. That happened. I don't know where that happened, but he lives in New York. So he leaves New York to take a teaching job in Seattle, and yeah, he's a guest because he's a composer. He's a famous composer, and so he takes this job. I think he's just trying to forget, you know.
So you know that weird building that they show?
Yeah, the corner building.
Yeah. Where was that at?
That is in Seattle.
Okay. Why? You know the one in New York?
Yeah.
I've been in that one.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that one's like really famous, but I don't know what I can't ever remember what it's called. And I've
well,
looked it up like a million times.
I went in there and it was this businessman. And he was out of town, and my friend Sherry would go and watch the place. Well,
like he had like a spot in there.
So she goes, "Come with me. I have to go make sure the place is still all right." We walked in there, dude. Holy fuck! This man, his whole apartment was full of like antiquities all over the wall, like
Mummies.
He was a Jewish businessman, so he had all these Jewish antiquities, like some from the Holocaust.
That's crazy.
On the walls and stuff, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" I was just like, just freaking out, dude. Like looking at everything. Well, he winds up showing up. He shows up and is like, "Oh, I just flew back into town," and he walked in, and we're like, "Oh yeah, nice to meet you." Super nice guy, and he was just talking to me about where he got all this stuff, and it just blew my mind.
Panama said that's the Flatiron building.
Flatiron?
Flatiron.
The Flatiron?
No, he said Flatiron.
The Flatiron?
Flatiron.
Flatiron?
Maybe Flatiron. I don't know. It looks like Flatiron to me.
So yeah, that's my story about that building in New York. It was super cool to be in it.
Yeah, it was weird. I went to see that when I was in New York once.
Well, I've been inside. Inside of it.
Because whenever I was like a teenager, there was a lot of like, you used to get those posters that were like just of that building. Do you remember that? It was like just the just hanging there, but it was that building instead.
Flatiron.
Flatiron. Iron, is that a Apple product? Flatiron?
Stop it, Doug.
Okay. So yeah,
he doesn't want to stay. He gets a job at a college because he's a composer, and they're like, "You can stay with us as long as you want," because his buddy's wife wants to bang him. You can see it in her eyes.
Oh, the buddy's wife.
Yeah,
so
he's like,
"I can't stay here,"
and he's like, "No, I gotta get to my own place."
You can't bang your wife in front of your kids.
Yeah, they're fucking bratty kids.
Yeah,
all these couples are so fucking old. I'm like,
dude,
they're like in their fucking 60s and their kids are like 12.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They don't make movies like that anymore. That's like, I mean, this was like a 70s movie that was like made in the 80s.
So he's like, "Let me introduce you to Trish Vanderveer."
Yeah.
Claire. That's Claire Norman. Let me introduce you to Claire. And she's just so sexy and so nice.
Who, Claire?
Yeah, she's just so hi, George C. Scott. How are you doing?
George C. Scott. You're old enough to be my dad, but we're married in real life.
Hey, John. I'm gonna take you to this house. We're gonna put you in this house.
Yeah, she works for the Historic Society. Excuse me. And somehow the Historic Society has houses to rent that they take care of. And oh yeah, they went horseback riding, but that didn't happen.
That scene though is real sexual tension, dude.
The whole movie.
I see you wearing riding boots.
No,
she's like,
"Did you go riding today?" And
she's like, "Do you ride?" And then you're expecting the next scene for them to be banging in bed, but no, they're fucking riding horses. And I'm like, that's a letdown. That was a waste of a good
it was sexual
scene.
tension for you.
No, sexual tension for them.
I think that was for you.
No.
But yeah, then all of a sudden they're riding horses, and I'm like, what the hell?
Around the fucking...
Bro, I tell people all the time I love riding horses. You know how many times I get invited to ride horses? Never. People will be like, "Oh, I got like 6 horses." I'm like...
Because you'd be all fucking camoed out saying, "Wolverines!
Wolverines!" Like shooting off the horseback.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
And they don't want that. They're going to you're going to scare Flicka. Or whatever that fucking horses their name nowadays.
And then the bees are going to come down and bite my face. She's going to be sad. Wait, was Flicka the horse or the girl?
I hope a fucking girl's not named Flicka.
I thought that was the girl's name. Flicka.
Was it? What the fuck?
I don't know. That is the same girl from when
These
the bees killed the
fucking-
little sad boy.
You white folk and your kids' names.
Well,
I'm sorry. Please don't send all hate mail to you.
yeah, so, oh, dang it. See, I looked at the screen and Jamie said, we're going horseback riding. I thought she was telling me I was going horseback riding. I was like, yes. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, she's talking about the film.
No.
Dang it. But if anybody out there has horses, I'll come ride them for you if they need to be ridden. I love
Do you
riding
even know how to
horses.
ride horses?
Yes, I know how to. I'm from Texas. I'm a white boy from Texas.
No.
Don't we all know how to ride horses?
I know how to ride
not
cowboys. That was just a joke, Panama Red. Don't get any ideas.
So, yeah, he's going to try to,
Oh, shit.
hey, DMD.
What's up, DMD?
So-
Mr. Monkey knows people.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Take me riding.
But the horses he knows ride people.
I can't, I'm not strong enough for that. No, the last time I went horseback riding was in Yellowstone Park.
Oh, here we go.
It was a very white person thing. And on the way back, I was like, can we run the horses? And they were like, nope. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
The last time I rode a horse, I was probably like 3, and it was that plastic one with the
Oh, yeah.
rings. But you know what? To me, bro, that was real. I was riding Flicka for real.
That's awesome. I hope Flicka's the girl's name, since you just said that in my head.
A la madre. I say that all the time.
You do say it all the time, and I don't know what it means. It means something like, a la, with mom. With mom? I don't know
Yeah.
what it means. It means something about your mom. Yo mama.
Don't ever talk about Lucia like that.
So, yeah, so Mr. Carmichael. No, not Mr. Carmichael. That's the senator that we haven't got to yet. So John Russell, who is George C. Scott's character, he needs a place to stay, and for some reason, the Historical Society's like, here's his house that no one's lived in for 12 years. And they go to look at it,
That thing's
and
terrifying.
it's a god dang mansion.
Do you know that whole front was fake?
Yeah, it was a whole fake house.
They spent like $200,000 to build a front.
That happened. You know, that happens a lot. Like we went out to DMD. Thank you so much. Thanks for the gift subs.
Wow, thank you.
We went out to see that movie that James Dean shot out in Texas. God,
I thought it was
about the great movie.
I thought it was Baldwin's that shot somebody.
Oh, different type of thing.
Oh.
There's a guys. If you just were the recipient of a guest sub, now you can use those little or a gift sub. Now you can use the little Freddy faces and Jason faces and stuff if you want in your chat.
Yay, Frankie!
So I can't remember what that movie was called. God dang it! But it's like one of James Dean's few movies. Big, yes. So, wait, no, not Big.
The Big Outdoors?
Big Life? Giant. Dang it. It's the one where he becomes a giant.
Same thing.
It's
the one where he's riding the horse.
He
and
makes a wish.
The horse is jumping on the piano like this.
Yeah. So, it's a giant.
I was close.
Me and Em went to out there for the weekend, and they have all this giant stuff about Giant. We actually stayed in the same hotel.
How many times can you fucking say giant?
A few more. So, but all those houses in Giant are all fake facades too. They just put those up, and they're not even full size. They're like miniatures. Some of them are still there, and they put them up just to get the shots of the grandiose scenery, but yeah, they're not real houses. They just built like one front and one side so they could get like a shot of people rolling up to the house. So that's pretty cool. So I guess they do that a lot. But yeah, this thing, it was a real house that they built, spent $200,000 to build a fake facade on the front of. So anyways, they roll up to this giant frickin' house, and he's like, all alone, and he's like, it's like 12 stories.
And it's weird
like
when they pull up, the
4,000
music's
rooms.
already changing. Like,
Yeah.
I like that little, like, there's a part in the soundtrack where it sounds like it's wind.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Man, that's so creepy. That shit is so creepy.
Yeah. I will say literally the only thing I don't like about this movie is there's some bad sound mixing in it. There is some bad sound mixing in it, but that's it's just kind of weird. Like sometimes it's too quiet but overall that's nothing that, like, I don't even remember that when I'm not watching the movie. I only think about it when I'm watching, whenever I'm watching, I'm like, dang it, why do they do that like that? But
everything starts off real slow, like he's playing the piano.
Yeah.
And like a door slowly opens behind him. And then he gets up and he's like, hello?
Yeah.
And then the caretaker comes in through the other door.
Yeah. He's like, Mr. Tuttle, were you in here? He's like, is anybody else here today? He's like, nope. But yeah, the just weird things start happening. I think the first thing is like in the morning at a certain time, he hears this banging on the noise.
Like crazy banging.
Yeah, I mean like super loud, like a hammer hitting a bathtub or something. I don't know. And so, thanks Panama Red. Are you talking about my fade, my hair fade? My hair fade is good. I hope that's what you're talking about, because I cut my own hair. So I hope that people acknowledge how awesome it is. Yeah, he starts hearing this noise, and they go down, and they're like, oh, these old pipes sometimes. And I mean, I thought it was weird.
It's like an air vapor lock. And he's like, that was not an air vapor lock.
No, it was like straight, like making a... Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. That's messed up.
DMD, just don't turn sideways. We chef.
So, yeah, even when he goes to the Historical Society at first, he runs into this old lady, Mrs. Huxley.
Well, you can tell she's a bitch just from her face.
Dude. Yeah, but she's basically like saying
that house shouldn't have been rented.
It shouldn't have been rented.
It doesn't want anybody there.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
But she's fucking wrong.
It does want him there.
It wants him there so he could figure out what the fuck is going on.
So I'm gonna stop this story now and just the writer of this story. This is the only thing he's ever written.
Because it scared the shit out of him.
Like, it's literally the only thing he's ever written, other than he rewrote it for another country, but it's still the exact same story.
Russell Hunter.
This is the only thing he's ever written. So that's like really crazy, because this is one of the best ghost stories ever. It's one of those movies where there's some really scary parts in it. Not too scary, but there's some scary parts in it.
Yeah, there's a couple of scary parts, but a lot of it's creepy, where you're like, creepy. It gives you like your sack hairs stand up and your arm hairs.
Yeah, and rip your undies apart.
Yeah.
So, and then the
and people that say undies. Okay, go on, I'm sorry.
But it's like really, it's just a good story. It's a really good story. And in reality, they started talking about remaking this right before COVID.
2018 they started.
So who knows what's going to happen with that? But the really amazing thing about that is they can even make, I think it gets to a certain point, like where he goes to visit the senator, and then it kind of just happens and wraps it up real quick, where I feel like that story could play out a little bit longer. Or even if it was made not into a movie and made into like a 3-part series or something, to where
it's because horror miniseries lately are so good.
They're so good.
Where you could see it being a miniseries.
But the problem about horror miniseries is horror miniseries don't win Oscars. You know, you're not a motion picture at that time. You're a
Dude, that'd be cool.
miniseries.
Panama Red, an 80s True Detective.
That'd be cool.
Shit. I consider the first season of True Detective a horror series. That shit is just
It's
creepy.
horrifying.
Yeah,
It's like a 12-year-old hooker.
it's crazy.
So he basically ends up finding at a certain point they have.
Are you still talking about Russell Hunter?
No.
That all this
you tell that story because I didn't read that. You did.
This is based on a true event. He stayed.
Allegedly.
No, why would he write the? Come on, man. You never believe anything, Doug. You got to be a believer, man. We need more believers.
I want to believe X-Files.
He stayed at Treat Rogers Mansion in Denver, Colorado, and he had crazy, strange phenomena happen. And he found an old journal, and he read it, and detailing of a disabled boy. They had a seance. The little boy told him to go to a different house where they found a medallion. Yeah.
Wait, that happened in real life?
Real life. This is based on what he encountered, and he wrote this story. Yes.
So he didn't even really write a story. He just wrote
what happened to him. Bearing the dead boy's name, Henry Treat Rogers. Is that any relation to Treat Williams?
That's what I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying he was at Treat Williams' house, like when they were working on like some buddy cop.
Dude, I wonder. The mansion was demolished during the 80s and replaced with high-rise apartments. Dude, I wonder if it's haunted.
Those bitches are haunted.
I don't know about they probably added the changeling part.
But maybe a murdered kid.
Yeah, but the kid was fucking murdered. He told the guy where to go to find his body.
And they found the body?
Yes. They found a medallion. Oh no, they found human remains and the medallion.
Where was that?
Direct him to another house. Henry Treat Rogers, a wealthy Denver attorney, was childless with prior.
Oh, so Denver?
Yeah, it was in Denver.
Creepy.
So this makes the movie even more creepier.
Yeah. That's real creepy. I don't even like it now. Now it's like too real. Like,
yeah, shit just starts getting crazier.
He's basically the next thing, do they find the room? Does he find the room first and
he's leaving one day and glass explodes out.
Is that before the seance though? Or after?
That's before the seance. Okay, because then he's like, "Hey, we need to do something."
Okay. Yeah, he finds this. He's leaving, and like this window bust out of like the 50th story window, and he goes upstairs to I think where he's probably never been before, and he gets up there, and he finds this where the window probably should be is just a shelf. And so he realizes, oh, somebody's boarded over this door, and he rips it all down, and he gets in there, and it's this. It's
crazy because right when he starts banging the lock, the banging starts again.
The noise.
Boom, boom, and it gets so loud where he's like scared, and he like the faces he makes.
Dude, that's the thing. It's his facial expression.
His facial expression, like he's scared. Like
it sells the fear. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Christopher? Oh, and so he breaks the lock. It stops right when the lock breaks. It stops. So he takes the locks out. And he starts banging on the door as hard as he could. And right when he stops, the door just fucking.
Yeah, and then it's like a mausoleum of terror in there. I mean, it's not, but it's like a little kid's room that's been like
creepy as shit.
You know, there's like a little mini wheelchair.
That wheelchair, dude. Man, if I could find one of those, dude, I would love to. Little bathtub, little wheelchair, and he finds a music box.
Yeah, and he starts playing the music box, and it's literally the exact.
Yeah, he had wrote this.
They call it composing.
I call it wrote.
He wrote. Wrote is another word for read.
He read.
He read a piano part.
Yeah. So when he opens it up, he's like, the next scene is fucking, what's her name? Christine? Claire?
Applegate?
Claire?
Oh.
Claire's like, he's like telling her it's exact same note for note, even the highs and the low. Me.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, that could happen.
That could happen. He's like,
no, it can't.
I like the way he just calls her bitch too. Bitch.
He's like, bitch, that shit can't happen.
How the fuck you figure?
Yeah, and she was
like, who says how the fuck you figure?
I know in the 80s. He was like a pimp.
So he's like, we need to get down to it. Shut the fuck up. We need to get down to the nitty gritty, as fucking Nacho Libre would say. So she goes, I'll ask around about a seance.
Yeah.
So they have this fucking seance, and that lady, dude, that does the seance,
creepy as fuck. So creepy.
She's just there with all this paper, dude. Now they wasted a whole fucking tree.
Yeah.
She's just there with this big pad, just scribbling on a pencil, and she's all like looking up.
Asking questions.
Asking questions. Are you here? Who's here? Is there somebody here?
And he asked if he could record the whole thing on his reel-to-reel, which he had been recording the music that he's been writing. And so he turns that on and starts recording, and she's asking those questions. And her husband's like switching out the paper because she's scribbling all fast.
And you know what? Before this, he goes down and he finds out who lived there before. And there was a family that lived there, and a little girl died by a coal cart.
Yeah. That was in
so they're asking this question. They're asking the question, are you the little girl that died with the coal? And finally,
it's like, nope.
She writes no. And then, who are you? And what else does she answer?
Did you die in here?
Did you die in here? Yes.
I think they ask the name. I think they ask the name, but I can't remember. But that goes on, and that's real creepy because shit's like moving and air's flowing and sounds are happening and shit's banging.
And it's funny because she's like freaking out. She just want to know, yes, yes. After they go, did you die here? Yes, 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 yes. So they fucking pull her out, and she's all like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And then this fucking big silver-looking pipe starts rattling.
Yeah.
And it flies. And then one of the crystal bowls flies against the wall and scares everybody screaming.
Yeah, and then, so then you're like, okay, there is an actual ghost in here.
There's something going on.
Everybody knows. And he starts trying to figure out what's happening. There's kind of one of the famous scenes in it, and it was in like the trailer and everything, where he's, shit's going all crazy, and he's like, what do you want from me? He's trying to help this kid or this entity.
That scene that happens next, where he goes after they leave and he's listening.
Yeah.
They're recording, so he's listening to recording, and in the background you hear the fucking little kid. That shit is so creepy. Just talking about it, my hairs are standing on my arm. He's all...
Yeah, you hear it. Yeah,
but the way... That's a good... That sounded cool, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like in the background, it's all creepy.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it cuts. It cuts right to something floating through the house, going through all the doors and up the stairs. And it's like, Mommy. Like he's crying.
Yeah, dude.
Where's my mommy? And dude, that shit scared the fuck out of me when I first saw it. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to watch this no more.
Please turn it off.
Turn it off. I can't find the VCR remote.
So the next, so somehow, he starts doing research. So he starts looking at he goes to the historical society in the building, and he starts looking at who owned this land. What did it look like before? Where was this? He's getting these little clues that lead him to an old farmhouse that used to be there.
He finds out first the senator owned the senator's dad owned it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just never rented it out. They kind of like just boarded it up.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to get rid of it or just not have anything to do with it.
And so
so that's when he becomes interested. He's like, we need to find out what happened here. Like, And that kind of like, they kind of like jumped the gun on this. Like, how is he going to figure that out? Let's go look for a well.
No, that's how it. Well, that's what happened. Is he? Remember, he saw the visions. He saw some visions in the house.
Oh yes.
And then
after that, he
just kind of led him to be like
that part's scary too, dude.
in his mind. He starts kind of putting the puzzle together.
Somebody fucking killed this kid.
Yeah, and he finds out like
if they own this land,
if they did get rid of a body, where would they have got?
So
rid
he
of
looks
it?
up all the other land and he finds these other lands, and the guy's telling him this is in fucking 1908, and this is in 1915, and then up to now there's a house built, but there's a well.
Yeah, he shows like, you know, the historical use of the land shows like, oh, well, up until this map there was still a well there, and it fit all those years. So he's like, he goes in and he's basically like, he tells this woman, he goes to the door and he's like asking her these questions about a well and all that stuff. She's kind of freaked out, but then she's calls
like,
him
you
back.
You said you had a seance.
Yeah.
3 days ago. 3 days ago, my daughter woke up screaming,
at
saying
the exact same time.
The a little boy with discolored hair was crawling out of the floor.
Yeah. So they like chainsaw up the floor, go down in there.
No, and then that night she has it again. The little girl, she's there.
Oh, I'm just skipping parts.
Yeah, but this is some good shit right here. That's terrifying. She looks down at the floor, and you hear like the wood breaking and shit.
Yeah.
And then they show him chainsaw. At first she was like, "No, we're good." And then the next scene is like, they're cutting that fucking bitch open.
So they find this well, and they're looking and they're looking. I think the police. Oh no, he goes in. They get down there and they go in and they find a body, and they find some skeletal remains.
A hand, a little baby hand.
He actually sees this crazy, like
it's
a little pendant comes up out of the ground, and he grabs it before the police can get it or anything.
That was good, Panama Red.
Yeah. And
then drink your milkshake.
And then he basically, it's weird. This is where it's like they start like skipping too much time to me. Everything just
starts coming together too fast.
Yeah. This is where in the story it comes together too fast. It's like he gets this thing and then he's like, "Oh, I know what's happened." Like he just knows. But
it's crazy because it has the senator's name on it.
Yeah. So he goes in, this old ass senator, Joseph Carmichael, like he's been
such an old
senator forever,
fucking
and he's like a
sourpuss-faced dick.
And he goes and he confronts him. He says, "Senator, I have your necklace." And like, you know
what? I thought that was funny how she's like, "There's no way we can get to him."
Dude, he just runs up to him.
And he's all like, "I'll talk to him."
Yeah, he just
And the next scene, he's all, at the fucking airport, and he gets down, he's all running, "Senator." And I'm like, if that was today, they would have shot that man dead.
They would have shot him as soon as he rolled up.
But he was white, though. They wouldn't have. They would have just tackled him.
I don't know. They might have shot him.
No.
I mean, he rolled up to his plane.
That was funny.
Hot on the tarmac.
I giggled.
Yeah. I said the exact same thing. I was like, damn, today they would just shoot him before he even got out of the car. It would have been like...
And then the senator looks all pissed off with his fucking sourpuss.
Yeah.
And he sits in the plane, and what does he do? He's all... pulls out his necklace.
And it looks exactly the same.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so it gets too easily wrapped up at this point to me. This is where I'm think like, if they do redo this, I really hope they do it instead of a movie. I hope like Netflix or Shudder or Arrow or somebody.
It needs to be at least a 3-episode
thing, because up until this point, like there are some things where they kind of skip forward where I was like, oh, I would have liked them to explain that better or shown more about this. But at this point, it's like once he actually makes interaction with the senator, the story's like compressed too much.
He finds out everything in one scene.
Like everything, like, and you don't even know how he found it out. It's like he just knows. It's like there's no proof of it, but he literally confronts the senator with it, and you're just like, how did he know all this stuff?
Yeah, he finds out that the senator's dad
was a piece of shit.
Had a son that was born severely crippled. He had some weird. I don't even remember the fucking disease he had. Well, they took him to Cryptopia. They took him to where did they go? France.
Somewhere overseas.
I see London. I see France. I see Doug's underpants. So all of a sudden, when he's 18 years old, he comes back and he's fully cured. He's fully healed.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, cool. He got cured or whatever he had. No. They killed that kid. That's who died. And the senator now is a changeling. He's not really any relation. And they did it all for money.
Yeah,
it was all for money.
The mom is the one who owned she was the inheritor of everything, and not the husband, who was the father of the senator. And he basically, when his wife died, he knew he wasn't going to get anything. He knew his handicapped son was going to get everything.
And he couldn't have a handicapped son owning all that, so he killed him and got a changeling.
Yeah.
Which is usually, a changeling could be either a changing of a child, but more so it's usually like a crazy goblin or a fairy.
Yeah, whenever I first saw this movie, I didn't realize it was gonna be what it was. I thought it was more gonna be like some goblin or fairy or something stole this child and replaced him with one of his children, but that isn't the case. The real monster is the dad.
I saw this movie.
The real monster's the dad.
Yeah, I saw this movie on Shudder. Christmas Horror or some shit. It was like 3 stories.
Yeah.
And one of them was about a changeling.
Oh, the newer was it one of the newer ones that just came out?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, the kid was going to die. Jamie said the kid wasn't going to live to adulthood.
Well, I mean, right.
So they had,
because
the money wouldn't have gone to him.
So that was exactly right. The Carmichael kid, the senator, the one that was killed, him and the business partner, it basically, if Senator Carmichael, that the real Joseph Carmichael, would have died, all the money would have gone to the other partners and the other partner's son instead of going to these people. So knowing that his son may be dead in a couple years and he would lose everything, then he just
and they show him killing that kid.
Oh, man.
He just goes in the bathtub and the poor kid's in the bathtub looking at him. He just grabs him by his feet and pulls him under. I was like, how the fuck?
I mean, does he not know about offshore bank accounts? He didn't have to kill his kid. He could have got rid of the kid and not even had to raise another kid.
Yeah, but that would have been a rough, because the kid was what, like maybe 7?
Yeah.
He was going to live another 10 years.
At least. Him drowning
Why would you want to take care of that?
Oh, never mind. Him drowning that kid was rough. It was real rough.
Like how the fuck did they film that? How do you tell the kid, hey, we're going to grab you by your legs, we're going to pull you up, pretend like you're drowning? And he's like, bitch, I am drowning.
No. Dude, he was under for a while and he's banging the tub, and that's what the
noise is. He's banging against the tub, dying.
My God.
And you know what? We totally didn't mention the Senator Carmichael sends a cop after him.
Oh, right.
After the airport.
Captain DeWitt.
Who starred in Battlestar Galactica as one of the main villains. And tells him, Mr. Carmichael you have something and he wants it back. And right when he leaves...
Well, he's like, all right, you come back with a warrant. And he was like, okay, I will.
And then right when he leaves, they show him like yelling, but he's like upside down. And that's when you realize this kid ghost don't fuck around.
Ghost baby done killed
He's a malevolent spirit now. He's killing people because he wants his shit known. He wants people to know what's up.
I didn't like it. What was weird about this movie is there may be some of this director's stuff, because this was directed. I mean, you got George C. Scott, so it's, he probably doesn't need a whole lot of direction. But the director, Peter Medic, I The only other movie, there's a couple movies that I've seen that he did, but it's like Zorro the Gay Blade. Do you remember that?
Fuck yeah. I love that movie.
Dude, I did too. But there's Species 2.
I don't know if I might have saw that one.
A couple episodes of Hannibal.
Never saw any of the Hannibals.
But like he did a couple Twilight Zones, but like other than that, the only thing that he was on that he did was Masters of Horror. He did the Washingtonians one where George Washington was a cannibal. Remember that one?
That was a good one.
That was actually one of the worst ones according to critics. So like I don't know, it's weird.
I liked it.
Like I feel like he's kind of got like a weird like I don't think the rest of your stuff is as anywhere as great as this movie. Like this is I don't really know how to explain this movie. It's like it seems like it's like a classic, like it could be on like Turner Classic Movies or some shit like that. But it's a ghost movie, you know? It's a ghost story. It's a horror
It won
movie.
all these Genie Awards too.
Yeah, it's just really good.
Best foreign actor. I mean, because it was Canadian.
Like it won Best Sound, and I don't even like the sound.
Best foreign actress. Best adapted TV. Best actor.
That's Canada.
I know. That's why they're all foreign.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's Canada, so it didn't really count for a lot.
It was a Canadian Academy Awards, and they changed them to the Genie because Canada's like, or America was like, fucking Canada Academy Awards. We're gonna go ahead and change it to the Genie Awards.
Yeah. But it's man, it's a really, really good. Also, what was it? Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese placed The Changeling on his list of 11 scariest horror movies.
It goes to 11, his list.
Hell yeah. Oh, dude, he's Martin Scorsese. He can make you go to fucking 15 if he wants.
Yeah. Good movie. Good movie.
I like after George C. Scott Russell tells Carmichael the whole story, and you're like, God damn, he's good. What's he doing composing music? He should be a detective.
Well, what's weird is that's where it's
and
like compressed.
He gives them all the files. He gives them the necklace. And he's all like, everything's there. Here's a tape of the seance.
He's like, it's up to you. You do what you want with this.
And he's like, you better not have told anybody. Like, my dad was not a murderer.
He was a saint.
And he goes home, and shit just starts going crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. I don't understand what happens.
Shit, the kid's pissed off because he wanted him to kill him.
Oh, he was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, he did everything he could.
He wanted that. He wanted revenge. Like, that kid wants revenge.
Well, he gets it.
So he wanted to kill. He was going to kill what's his name too, Russell. He didn't want to have. He was like, "Fuck you! You didn't fucking do what you said you were going to do."
He never said he was going to kill some fool. He just said, I'll help figure out what happened to you.
Little fucking Marcos wanted him to do it. I mean, I guess that's what the kid's name was, right?
He can be whatever he wants.
Marcos.
I think it was Joseph.
I call him Marcos.
I think it's Joseph.
Lionel Joseph.
How do you say Joseph in Spanish?
Jamie said it is weird how he did all that detective work and then when he gave it all the way to the evidence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, Jamie, he was a composer. He wasn't a detective.
And the detectives were already on the senator's side.
Yeah,
we already know that.
He couldn't do dick.
He should have gone to the FBI.
Female body inspectors. Yeah. Oh, so shit just starts burning all of a sudden. Chandelier starts swaying. Balls start flying, little rubber balls. His daughter's little ball starts flying around. How does he get knocked out? I can't remember how the fuck he gets that cut on his head.
Dude, he's like just throwing him around and like the house is shaking and flying around. He couldn't get out.
Panama Red, Marcos Orozco. Hell yeah, it's a good, strong Mexican name.
It is. All the Orozcos I know are very white.
Yeah, he looks white. And usually Mexicans do have speech
impediments?
Debilitating.
Speech problems? Debilitating.
Debilitating. You could have fucking hit me on the back like that. Spit it out, bitch. So he's there on the floor, all out of it. Chandelier swinging around.
Oh, looks bad.
And then when he's laying there, he sees fucking Carmichael walking up the steps.
Bitch is
But
just
Carmichael's back at his mansion looking at his dad's picture and everything starts shaking. Like he's hypnotized. The whole table starts shaking. And in reality, he's over there about to get fucked up by the kid.
Do you think he was really in the house? Or do you think symbolically he was in the house and the ghost is going to kill him in his own house either way?
I think he was already dead. And that was his spirit at the house.
Oh, okay. Like he killed him at his own house and then his spirit walked into the house with him.
To be with him, yeah.
Okay.
And
that's a good idea. We'll make sure we'll try to figure out shot glasses with our logo.
that'd be cool. And then he fucking grabs his corazon at his mansion and falls. And his eyes are open. So that usually means you're dead. He day.
Is a corazon that sweater that goes like this? He grabbed both sides of his sweater.
Yeah. You know mine, it's all broken.
You know.
Mi corazón inocible. Yeah, so the house burns to the ground. Claire shows up.
I think somebody just shot a gun outside.
I know, fucking heard it. Drags his ass out. House burned to the ground. Little fucking Marcos Orozco is finally happy.
He gets his revenge.
Now they're together forever in that burned up house.
This is actually part 1 of Ghostbusters. Did you know that?
And then at the end, what happens?
He forgets that his wife died just a few weeks ago and he leaves in the arm of another woman.
Yeah, no shit, right? I mean, but he's old. I would do the same thing. I'm like, where's your wife at? She died like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. She died at the beginning of the movie, which has been about 3 weeks, and I'm with this younger woman now.
Yeah. I'm 76 and she's 23. No, they zoom in and the music box is there and it flips open. And he starts playing, so he's there.
Do you know that he actually, whenever he first gets there to teach the class, he walks in and he looks and he's like, it's like a packed, because he's supposed to be a famous composer. It's like a packed classroom, like one of those stadium-style classrooms. And he says, I've only got 12 people enrolled in this class, but I see there's a lot of people here, whatever, they laugh, whatever. And he just sits down and says, you might recognize this one. And he just starts playing the piano. You know, he actually learned how to play that song that they wrote for that.
He wrote it.
Oh, he wrote it?
He wrote it and played it.
Well, no, he learned how to play it.
Fucking George C. Scott, man.
He goes all the way. Yeah.
I heard they saved his head so he can be thawed out.
I think that was on The Simpsons. Oh, fuck. Or Futurama, maybe.
Well. Look who showed up to the fucking chat. Lyrical GZ. What up, Lyrical GZ?
Everybody wants glasses. We're going to have to figure out how to make glasses.
I know, man.
Pint glasses, shot glasses.
Eyeglasses. Sunglasses.
Jamie said shot glasses too. I mean, Jamie's a college student, so I assume she probably wants shot glasses. I don't know how that works. But, man, great movie. Like, seriously, this is one of the great horror movies that's just like a good horror story. Like, it's a really good story. It's not like a slasher that's all gross. There's nothing gross at this movie at all, right?
Wait, horror or horror?
Horror movie. That dumb whore comes to him after his
fucking
wife
Venda,
dies.
Fucking, what's her name? Vendaput.
I mean, it's messed up.
Oh, shit. Lyric said they had to be the penis ones that you find at the bachelorette parties. I have some of those.
I know you do. I've drank out of them before.
I couldn't get rid of those.
We should bring them for tomorrow night's show. Penis shot glasses. That's the only thing I'm going to do shots out of from now on, so...
Penis shot glasses.
I wonder if Chris will be good with doing penis shots.
Man, fucking... Chris will do actual fucking dick hole shots.
Oh, gross.
Yes, I just said that.
Well, on the 31st, he's going to have to take a shot in the mouth from a penis.
It's not the first time, right, Chris? Lyric, ew.
What's funny is Lyric's the one that brought it up.
Yeah, you quit bringing up fucking...
I just really like that you actually own a set of those.
Why not? Fuck it.
It's pretty good. You also have a glass that a cup that looks like a boob, don't you?
Oh, hell yeah. I love that thing. It's called a little sipper.
A little sipper, that's what it says on it. So ridiculous.
You drink your fucking coffee out of the titter.
So ridiculous.
Lyric, we always take things too far.
We do have drinks.
You've heard of cow water? No.
Cattle water? No.
Ranch water?
Ranch water.
This is moose knuckles.
It's like a better version of a ranch water.
Hell yeah.
It's called Moose Knuckles.
Has a whole half of a lime.
Yeah, it does. It's got a lot in there.
A whole half of a lime? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Nev Campbell on the Scream DVD said that this is the scariest ghost movie she's ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. And after that, I hated Nev Campbell.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
every time, all the fucking fan mail I would send her with pictures of her with her eyes scratched out and all the little letters that said, I'm gonna fucking fuck you up, bitch, I take them all back, Nev. This makes everything all better. We're good. I love you again.
Did you like her in The Craft?
The Craft.
The Craft?
Is that the one with those three?
The four witches? Witchy witches?
Moose piss. Yeah. Yeah, it was alright.
Remember she was all like all the time because she because she had like burned up back or something. And then she like
burned up back. Is that a disease?
No, she got burnt in the back.
Oh, I thought it was.
And then she goes in because they prayed to the god to make them
the Demigorgon.
Yeah, to make her back get better. And she like comes in the next day and she's all like, boom, like
look at these titties, they're not burned no more.
These and juggies. Look at my back, it's all like smooth.
I don't have burned up back no more.
Yeah. So,
burned up back.
Is that when you started writing her?
Yeah. That and when she was in Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide. She wasn't in Eyes Wide Shut, was she?
Yeah, Tom Cruise's wife, right?
No, that's a different person.
Holy fuck, I was sending the letters to the wrong one.
That's the girl from Days of Thunder.
Holy fuck.
I don't think she's been in anything else, though.
Holy fuck.
I think she was in Days of Thunder and...
So I was calling Eyes Wide Shut girl Nev?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I never even said Nev. I said bitch. At the beginning of every letter.
Bitch, why don't you love me? Like that. I'm gonna get you.
Do you like the color of your eyes in this one? It's black from the X's of my pen.
That's fucked up.
Is it though? I'm just kidding. I'm not that fucking psycho.
Yeah, that would be like really, really crazy. If you did do that.
Nah.
I mean, now you go to prison for that stuff.
You know, Carmichael, what was his name? Douglas? Melvin Douglas. Carmichael, the old senator.
Yeah.
His last two movies, the other one was also a ghost story, which you haven't seen, called Ghost Story.
Oh, shit. I want to see that so bad.
That was his last movie. Pretty much. You know what? Remind me and I'll look. I'll look on eBay. No, I'll look on eBay. eBay's my go-to now, man. I thought I had Salem's Lot. And I guess I lend my copy out. You know me, Mr. Nice. So $38, because I don't really like to buy Blu-rays unless I have to. I'd rather have VHS or DVD. $38 for the regular DVD.
That is crazy.
For Salem's Lot. The most expensive one I found was $58. So I looked on eBay, $6. Buy
That's
it
great.
now.
I saw Wild Things in the theater because, like, I think every
Pubescent
buddy
boy.
wanted to go see Wild Things at that time.
Never saw it. I don't even know
I
what it's
don't
about.
think I was pubescent at the time because
Were we
that
like
was
27?
1998, so I was
You were like
probably
27?
No, I was like 22 or something.
Yes, Lyric, we did see the Criterion sale today, and I showed Doug what you bought.
They're also on sale on Amazon right now. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier.
Dude, Amazon's Criterion, they're always under like $20.
Well, right now they're 54% off.
Did you hear that, Lyric? You done fucked up.
I'm gonna get you, Sydney.
Is that what you told her?
You bitch, don't you hang up on me again.
Like
That's
that?
pretty good, Doug.
I actually did the voice for Scream. I'm uncredited, but I'm not uncredited. It just doesn't have my real name on there.
So, what else was I going to say about the Criterion?
Uh,
Yeah, Lyric was like, I
Right.
found these. And she was like, I'm going to buy Time Bandits. And I was like, hell no.
Did you know Criterion Collection was the first DVDs to put extras on DVDs? Criterion.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Look up, do me a favor. Speaking of
What do you want me to look
DVD extras, I guess you could find it on there. Look up the guy that did the extras for Fight Club.
Brad Pitt?
No, seriously, look him up.
What do you mean the extras?
He designed the extras for the Fight Club DVD.
How did you look that up?
I don't know, but it was so. And you know what? When I bought Fight Club on DVD, the extras are the shit. He was so good at it, he became a director. And that's how I want to know who it is.
I don't see anything. Fight Club Brûlé, David Fincher. It was David Fincher.
He directed it.
I know. This doesn't say. I don't know how you would look that up. That's like something.
Meatloaf. I don't know what the fuck's going on in that chat.
I don't either.
Let me ask my phone. Hey, Cyrus. Cyrus. I don't know what's wrong with my phone.
I don't think you have that on your phone. Yeah, it doesn't say. Here's even a whole thing about all the extras, but it doesn't say who did it.
Oh, no, not
some guy named Chucky Palahonic.
Meatloaf. You mean Robert Paulson.
Yeah.
His name was Robert Paulson.
In life, his name was Meatloaf. But in death, his name was Robert Paulson.
No, I'm serious. I'm going to have to find out, and I'm going to mention it next time. He did the extra features for Fight Club, and he started doing all the extra features, directing them, and they were like, this dude's fucking good. Have you ever seen the extra features on Fight Club?
No.
I'm going to have to, I'll bring it in. They're amazing. You know the when you put the DVD in, it says Never Been Kissed?
That's a different DVD.
No. So when you put in Fight Club, Never Been Kissed comes up with the music and everything, and it has Demi, what's her name?
Demi Lovato?
No, for
Demi
real.
Moore? Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. It has Drew Barrymore sitting there, and it's the fucking Never Been Kissed, and you're like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden it just starts getting all scrambled and shit, and it says Fight Club. It comes out.
That's weird.
Yeah, he did all that. Sticking feathers up your butt don't make you a chicken. But it gets you pretty close. Cyrus the Virus. Who was Cyrus the Virus? I don't know. So what's up about this movie? What were your favorite parts? Tell me your favorite parts. Tell me your hated parts. Tell me your private parts.
So I don't know. I think like I really like the kid being drowned in the bathtub.
You would, you fucking sicko.
Not really. I like it's very cliche for this movie, but I like the wheelchair and whenever Claire in the wheelchair.
What What is that nonsense Lurk's talking about?
You've never seen this? This is literally one of the best horror movies ever.
You've never seen the Changeling Lyric?
I think she has not. But I think that's probably one of my favorite parts.
Lyric.
The wheelchairs. The wheelchair part. Because it's actually like that lady seems freaking terrifying. Terrified. Like she literally seems terrified.
Fuck yeah. That scene is, and it looks like that shit's about to really kill her in real life.
And like how they did the POV shot with the wheelchair. Oh shit, so good. My least favorite part
POV
of this movie,
shots, eh, Chris?
My least favorite part of this movie
is the sound.
No, it's not. It's not really. I mean, now I'm not going to say anything because the Canadians gave them best sound. So I must be wrong.
But they're fucking Canadians.
I know, but
sorry if there's any Canadians out there watching this.
So the worst part to me is how quickly
everything wraps up.
Yeah, how quickly they wrap it up, and they don't really go into how he figured all this stuff up. They're just all of a sudden like, oh, he knows all this shit, and so, yeah, that's kind of what that's the only thing I don't really like about it.
My favorite part of the movie is when she shows up wearing those tight riding pants and those boots. And George C. Scott, you can see it in his eyes. He's all sweating.
He's like, you want to go for a ride?
And he's all like nice ass. And she bends over and says, oh, this old thing? Wait, did I download the wrong fucking movie again?
You did. You always download the wrong movie.
Jamie, his eyes are sweating. Oh, shit. That was pretty good.
But yeah, man, great movie. I mean, it won a lot of awards. It's technically a Canadian movie because I think the guy, the people that made it are Canadian, and it was paid for with Canadian money, tax credit money or something.
What are they called? Ducklings?
Looney Tunes.
Loonies?
Toonies.
Was something like that. I was like, ducks?
I don't know. Maybe that's something different. I don't know. But it premiered in Dallas, which is kind of a weird place for it to premiere.
That is weird.
Since it's a Canadian movie.
But he got like great reviews right out the bat.
Like everybody gave it good reviews. Everybody gave it good reviews. It's like, it's definitely not your typical 80s movie. Like, I feel like this is one of those last ones that had that like 70s feel, like Exorcist, like all those
80-year-old man dating a fucking 34-year-old.
Yeah.
Right after his wife died like 3 hours earlier.
Yeah. Well, look at all those like
drowned
movies.
Kids.
Look at all those movies where like some teenage girl like heads away to Europe for a vacation, and Rock Hudson shows up and he's like 30 years older than him, and they're like all of a sudden in love and making out on the beach, and there's a heist or something.
And he's all like, look at this body, and like his left nipple's like all the way down to his fucking
like,
belly button.
Bro, there's no way in real life.
And you're like, what the fuck, dude? You look like a bad piece of fucking shoe leather.
That's what I feel like all those Audrey Hepburn movies, I'm like, what the fuck? This dude's like 70 years older than her. Like, she's like this like hot 20-year-old, and this like 80-year-old
That's why I think
like
Clint Eastwood still has that mentality. In his last movie, he has a threesome. And he's like 80 years old.
Tell me that. I don't know if it's true.
Well, fucking watch the movie then and find out. It's called Look at Me. I'm Clint Eastwood. I'm going to have a threesome with these bitches.
And say it's for a movie.
Yeah. I'm serious. Look it up. I think it was The Mule, maybe?
Remember they tried to do...
Or Being Macho Man Randy?
That's a good movie.
Then it's not that one. It was the one after where... Crying Macho?
You know his wife, like, and son, or some of his kids had, like, a reality show, but he didn't want to be on it, so, like, why would anybody want to watch it anyways? Do you remember that? There's a reality show about his family that he's not on. It's like they wanted to be the next... They wanted to be the next...
Panama Red said Rock Hudson was Necio. That's why that motherfucker got AIDS. He was out fucking around. Fucking everything.
He was on the strip.
On the fucking St. Mary's Strip.
So, yeah. They wanted to be the next Kardashians.
Oh.
Or something. But he wasn't in it. And then she started managing bands.
Who, the wife?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a lot younger than him. She showed up to, like, some events that I was throwing. And, like,
shitload of plastic surgery.
Dude, it was just weird.
Her
She was
fucking
like, Missy's work.
her top lip was up here.
Ugh. Some weird
Gross.
shit, man.
Gross.
Yeah. I don't know. This went off the rails.
Oh, another thing. Did you know Alejandro that directed The Others? He cites this movie as a big inspiration for The Others.
Alejandro directed what?
The Others.
Oh, I thought. Sorry. I didn't realize you were saying, quote, The Others.
Amanabar. Amabar. I just destroyed that.
I couldn't stop thinking about
You know-
Lady Gaga. Alejandro.
Yeah. I started watching The Others. Did you like that one?
Nicole Kidman. That was her name, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide
Oh,
Shut. Yeah.
fuck. She got all
Full
those
circle.
letters.
Full circle.
6 Degrees of Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I started watching The Others when it came out. Dude, I figured it out
Instantly.
in like 10 minutes.
I do that all the
I
time.
was,
with
like,
movies,
watching
and
it.
It makes me sad.
I was watching it, and all the kids looked all pale, and they couldn't go outside. And I was like, they're the ghosts. And everybody's
They're the
like,
others.
and people were like, what the fuck? You've seen this? And I was like, no, why? Is that it? And they're like, yes, they're the fucking ghosts. And I'm like, come on, you're going to make the kids fucking milk white and they can't go outside or talk to anybody?
But she was like Milk White too, right?
Yes. I'm like, they're fucking ghosts. They're the ghosts.
Mhm.
I mean, great script and all, but I
But
mean,
you figured it out.
like instantly.
Yeah, it's-
and it's crazy how people did not know. They were like, oh my God, did you see? They're the ghosts.
Just like the little boy. I mean, just like Bruce Willis.
That one I didn't see coming at all. That one hit me across the fucking head with a baseball bat.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, why does this bitch keep locking the fucking
Look.
basement? He just wants to go down there and masturbate in his fucking recliner.
What's his name? The director's name? Shyamalan?
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shyamalan. So, as much as people like to criticize E. Night Shyamalan, his movies have fucking great twist. As much as people talk shit about the twist, I think they're angry because they're like, God damn it, I never figuring his stuff out.
The Visit I tried and I didn't figure it out.
Did you like?
What was it? The Knock on the Cabin. That one looks good so
I
far.
haven't seen that one.
The trailer? No, they released the trailer.
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you shit. You're like, holy fuck, what the hell is this
What
going to be
about
about?
the Amish people in the woods?
The Village?
Dude, I loved that movie.
I figured that one out too.
Here's the thing, I did too. That
I
one
was
did
like,
kind of figure out.
I was like, okay, what's the biggest twist that this movie could have? They're out in the fucking middle of nowhere.
Well, you start
it's
looking
an
for it.
old village. I didn't even watch it. And I was like, they're in today's time, right? And everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, I figured it out. But nowadays I can't. I'm getting too old.
What about
Like, my fucking
what about
vision's bad.
Signs? That
There was-
movie's awesome. I feel like
But there was no twisted ending.
there's
to
no
that.
twist other than the water gets them.
You know what it was? It was that fucking Aquafina, dude. Aquafina's fucking terrible.
It's not real water.
It's not.
It's made by Pepsi.
Aquafina will fuck you up. And that's what
It's
killed
like
him.
Coca-Cola or Pepsi or something. It's the leftover water. It's the leftover water from one. It's the stuff they reject when they're making the soda.
It's
And
like
they put it in
chocolate
a
milk.
bottle. And then there's people that are like, that's all they'll drink because they're addicted to that flavor.
Oh, it's gross. It's like chocolate milk. They just dye it. They put the chocolate in it because it's the pus they can't get out of the regular milk. It's too
I
yellow.
think that might be fake.
Here we go. Look it up with the threesome with Clint Eastwood.
Pussy milk threesome? That's gross.
No, Lyric. Aquafina not be good sometimes.
No, it's garbage water. Panama Red, I agree with you. Signs was fire, but also water.
Water.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I don't like how Shamalama Ding Dong has to be in all his movies.
Why not?
He's a terrible actor.
Yeah, so was Stan Lee, but I mean, he wasn't in his last one. I'm not sure what happened.
I know. He kind of just disappeared.
I know he like stopped. He's like, I'm gonna stop doing cameos. Weird.
I guess.
Maybe
Maybe it was all the sexual harassment charges he got put against him. You can't be going around sticking two fingers inside women that are serving you fucking coffee at restaurants. Hey, I'm calls it like I sees it. Don't blink at me like that.
I mean, yeah, you can't do that, but I hope you're not insinuating that he did that.
You didn't hear
'Cause
about
we
that
need to
shit?
we'll get lawsuits.
Lyric said, "Oh my lord."
Okay, I think I'm about ready to wrap this one up.
Before we
On
get
that
sued.
note, before the lawsuits start rolling in through the chat, we're gonna get served. Somebody's gonna be like, "Hey," people are gonna be like, "Hey, is this Doug and Carlos?" And it's all gonna be like, "You're served." It'll be like digital serving.
You've been served.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a raid. If everybody will stick around just for a minute, we're just gonna try to go over to someone else's channel, and what it'll do, if anyone's not familiar with this, it'll say we're raiding this. It'll say like you're raiding somebody's party, or no, you'll raid someone else's stream, and it'll say, you know, Sinister Cinema is raiding with this many people, and what it'll do is those people will then be like, oh, let's check out this person's thing, and then we'll be like, hey, cool. But he's talking about Halloween True, so we might as well go over there and look. So please stick around. Thanks everyone for coming tonight, and we'll try to get some shot glasses made. I'm going to look into that tomorrow. But
Which means it'll be like a month.
no, I'm looking at it tomorrow. So we're going to try to
Which
do
means it'll
a
probably
raid
be like
here.
a month.
If Jamie's the one doing this because she knows how to do it. But all you got to do is stick around as soon as we go off the air, and it'll automatically send you to their channel, and it'll help us out if you can stick around just for a few minutes. But until tomorrow night,
Thanks everybody that tuned in.
thanks, and we will see you
Tomorrow.
when you can tune in
And talk shit.
Okay, let's do this. Raid now.
Okay, bye.